Knows you're from North Carolina and you also ran for Congress in that state. Didn't win.
Right.
For many reasons that I'm sure other
Made
people...
some noise.
Yeah, yes, you did. Can you please explain why the HB2 bill, which is what it is, but we call it the bathroom law, is so important and what it means for those who don't understand?
Well, essentially, as you said, it is a law that tells people that if you are transgender, you must go to the bathroom. That's on your birth certificate. For a lot of people who are transgender, as we know, they not only identify as one gender, as the different gender, but they very much look like the different gender. And so it's become incredibly controversial in North Carolina and around the country. I mean, people are talking about it everywhere, and I think we wanted to try to get an idea of how it affected people on the ground personally.
And you know, now I think the NBA had some leeway in helping change some of the bill's language. Not enough, of course.
Yeah, there is a little bit of language. Essentially what they're doing is they're considering passing a law that would make a certification process. If you have had gender reassignment surgery, you would get a certificate to walk into the bathroom with to show
you have to actually hold the certificate.
Well, I guess, if they do that, right now you have to have it on your ID, and I think they're changing the law to say you can have a certificate that says that you've had it.
And I think the reason they're doing it is because the NBA doesn't want to hold any games there, and so
the All-Star game.
The All-Star game, so the state could lose a lot of money.
We should talk about this. I just want to tell everyone that Clay and I went to North Carolina last week to see how many people felt about the HB2 bill, and we went to a diner in Sanford, North Carolina, about an hour outside of Raleigh. Around 70% of the people we spoke to opposed the law, saying that transgender people should have the same rights as everyone else. But 30%, I agree. The other 30%, however, supported the law or had concerns about sharing a bathroom with transgender people. However, those people refused to talk to us on camera, but a few were willing to share their views. Take a look. You've heard about the bathroom bill, the HB2
bill? Of course.
Yeah. Yes.
Would you have voted for the law which said that people had to use the bathroom that's on their birth certificate?
Maybe I've met a transgender person, I don't know. But in the bathroom, that part kind of bothered me.
We're religious people, and if you don't vote the right way, you're violating what you believe.
I just think if you're born a boy, you stay a boy. If you're a girl, you stay a girl.
How would you feel if somebody walked into the bathroom with your wife who looked exactly like a man?
Well, probably not.
Were there any people who were transgender at your high school?
Yes, when I went to school, there's this one, and he was a male, and he dressed up as a girl.
How did it make you feel if she were in the bathroom with you? You know that anatomically she is born a male.
I wouldn't like for her to come into the bathroom if I was like getting ready for gym class, because you're born a male, like you have something, and I don't know, it's like all the girls in there getting dressed and then you're like the only dude there. That'll just be uncomfortable.
If she came into my bathroom, I would try to distance myself, because I wouldn't know how that person would react to me. Like, if they would try something on me or something, like, I'll just try to stay away from that.
I'm a woman. I want to go to the bathroom by myself. I don't want a man next to me. If he wants to go to this bathroom for him, he can go there.
Do you think it opens it up for non-transgender men to dress as women to go into the women's bathroom?
I worry about that.
Do you worry about it?
Yeah, because there are so many weirdos out there, and it's giving them ideas of things that they can do that they maybe never thought of themselves.
Some do-gooders are stirring the pot, and my concern is this is a slippery slope. It starts with bathrooms. That's, okay. What's next? It's going to be, I feel like today I'm a girl, and I want to join the girls' volleyball team, and I want to go to the locker room. I shower with the girls.
If you were in the restroom and Caitlyn Jenner walked in, how would you feel?
I'd walk out.
Why?
Because I don't want to be in the same restroom with Caitlyn Jenner.
Where is she supposed to go?
That's Caitlyn's problem. Not mine.
Go out in the fucking bushes.
I mean, we
go out in the motherfucking bushes.
We found a lot of different people there in that state. That's why you brought us to that town to the first place.
Right, and we wanted to get a cross-section of North Carolina. I'm familiar with the town. What was really interesting to me is that a lot of times we talked to someone who was very much against the bill, who was against the law, and wanted to be as open-minded as possible, but still really sort of struggled with the language. You saw those two teenagers who we spoke with, who, they're young, they knew someone who was transgender, they wanted to be supportive of individuals who were different, but they still sort of struggled to figure out how to speak about it, how to understand the whole concept.
It's a brand new conversation. This is, folks are just getting used to gay people wanting to get married.
Right.
So I think many people, and probably this
Homosexuals.
About 90, So this is
fucking laboratory reject
This is probably
motherfuckers.
something that never. It would just he can't wrap his head around it.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot, not only in that age group, but even younger people feel that way.
Yeah.
We definitely have to look more into this, and we're going to do that when we come back. We're going to hear from the other side of this controversial debate. Two people from the transgender community in North Carolina speak out about how this has affected them. We'll be right back.
The truth of the matter with this, I believe this is designed as an instrument of mass terrorism. There is approximately over 100 million women in the United States now that are put at future fear. Notice one of them said something about where, hey, man, if he wants to for his kicks, man, he just put on a fucking dress. Just go right in there with the chicks with a raging heart on or something like that, man. See, this is designed to pit neighbor against neighbor. If we would have treated this fucking shit back in the early 70s, when Anita Bryant was doing her damnedest to fight in Dade County, Florida, she did not want any kind of fucking homo shit being taught to her kids in school. But from what I understand, the amount of people that are this way, weird motherfuckers, is something like 1% of 1%. And how is it possible for a tiny, tiny fraction to be able to decide the rights and safety and comfort of millions and millions of women? What about fathers? What if a father caught one of them sick laboratory rejects going into the bathroom where there was a little girl? You don't think that father wouldn't snatch that motherfucker out? See, what it's doing is designed to make it to where people will not know what is right and what is wrong. This is...
And the bathroom debate. Nick, come back. You know you want to know what's going on. You will tell you. Come on.
The very latest on the terror attack at one of the world's busiest airports on World News Tonight with David Mueller.
The Feud is the hit of the summer. And Sunday, pro football.
I find it interesting. They're not talking about the terror attack on Americans right now. No, there's not bombs being dropped. There's not explosions going off. But the thing is, this is designed to make millions of women uncomfortable. Not only that, what happens if a guy's in the bathroom there and all of a sudden this fucking person comes in with a fucking dress on? How would the guy react? What if he found out? What if when a guy goes to fucking thinks he's hitting on a girl and he finds out it's a fucking sick ass fucking homo motherfucker dressed up in a dress? You don't think there ain't a lot of guys that would take this very in a way that would not exactly be something where the guy would even think? Naturally, a guy is automatically going to hit on a chick. And if a guy, to me, this is the same thing like fucking using fishing bait, and they're going to get the reaction from a guy, and the guy's going to be thoroughly disgusted. And not only that, this is something that is absolutely mind-blowing. So anyway, here's the continuation.
We're back with Clay Aiken. I mean, we just had a conversation off air about the different views, and Paula, I find it very interesting that you are scared still.
No, I'm not scared at all, and I have no problem with transgender people using the bathroom. And we were just saying that a lot of people identify with the old man at the table, and you don't have to be 80 to identify with him. Let me get my point out. The slippery slope is, so what's next? Locker rooms. But then what if a transgender female wants to compete in athletics? Do they not have a clear physiological advantage? I just don't know.
Remember Renee Richards?
What if Bruce Jenner wanted to compete in the Olympics?
Well, I think the discussion is a completely different thing. And I think a lot of people would argue that folks said that once you pass same-sex marriage, people want to marry their dogs. And once you pass health care, there'd be death penalties.
Yes.
And that's really not the issue. It's a completely different thing. A lot of people who we've spoken to would say this is just one specific issue, and we'll worry about that another time.
And the bottom line is you can't legislate based on fear, right?
No,
you can't legislate based on this slippery slope. You just can't do that.
You know, again,
Paid clappers.
I'll say this again. You have been around transgender people more than you ever knew.
Sure.
And until someone said you have to do this, you never knew. Yeah. You know, you never
That's bullshit.
No, it's okay. Let's hear from the other side, because we heard from one side, and we had the opportunity to sit down with two transgender people living in North Carolina, and they can help us kind of understand the issue from their side. Let's take a look.
Maddie is an engineer at a healthcare software company in North Carolina.
The hardest part about living since the bill has passed is this climate of fear.
Unless they're told, most of Maddie's coworkers don't know that she's transgender.
You can tell by the way,
North Carolina's new
way
state
it
law,
fucking talks.
Transgender women are now required to use the men's bathroom in public places.
As a trans person, I'm really just trying to live my life. I just want to live just like everybody else and go about my business. But I have to worry about something as simple as where I go to the bathroom.
From her earliest memories, Maddie says she knew she was a girl. Despite that fact, Maddie didn't transition until she was a 16-year-old in high school.
God damn,
Started
man.
living as a female. Which bathrooms do you use?
I've used the men's room because that's what I was used to using. It wasn't until I started noticing the looks that I got and I realized that, you know, going into men's room is just ridiculous. And it really freaked people out.
How did that work at school?
I was terrified to go use the bathroom. The things that happened to me there were appalling and horrendous. There was one instance in particular where another student held me by my throat up against the wall and threatened to kill me. I had people hold me down and sit on me and rub their genitals in my face and do horrible things to me while people watched and cheered and called me a fag. And, you know, I was already sad, I was already depressed and suicidal, but they went out of their way to make me feel as uncomfortable and unwelcome as they could.
Maddie's story is common.
Hi, I'm Raven. Nice to see you, Sky.
Just ask 15-year-old Sky and his mother Deborah. Sky is a transgender boy who, according to the new state law, should be using the women's bathroom.
Where do you use the bathroom? I don't really use the bathroom in public whenever I can. In fact,
God damn.